Hello, everyone. I hope I am live. It is saying that I am live. It was just silly me, guys. This is only the third time I've done this on my channel, so this is all new to me. Thank you so much for everybody for bearing with me. So as you can tell, hopefully from the title of this, I have titled it Sonic the Hedgehog non-spoiler movie review. Hopefully I've set this live stream up properly. Hello, Sticky V. Okay, great. It's working. Thanks very much. So I am literally just back from the cinema about 20 minutes ago, maybe 25 minutes ago. Got back on the bus from seeing Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Yay, the rookie critic. Thanks very much. So I went and seen this movie tonight, and it was only out today in Ireland. I stupidly, for some reason, thought it was out yesterday. But it was out today, so I only got to go and see it today. At the earliest that I could go and see it, it was the very first showing for today. And I will be honest, I'm not going to be doing any spoilers or anything in this. This is a non-spoiler review. But as someone who, was looking forward to this as, a fan of playing these games on Sega, I played Sonic from I was around 13 or 14 years of age. I was super, super looking forward to this and super hyped for it. But I was kind of disappointed. I will be completely honest. It wasn't that great. I kind of left the cinema feeling just like that was kind of disappointing. And I will sort of go over my reasons for that. Now, the first thing that I want to say is when I did my trailer reactions to this, if any of you actually remember any of the reactions that I did for the trailers for Sonic the Hedgehog movie, basically James Marsden, who of course plays Cyclops in X-Men, I absolutely love him. I think he is an extremely talented actor, and I am a fan of his. I love him. Now, he was in a movie called Hop. And it's actually a movie that I absolutely love. And I might get a bit of stick for that. Hi, everyone. I might get a bit of stick for that. And it does go really kind of like crazy off, a bit mad at the end. But basically, Hop is a movie with James Marsden, who plays Tom in this movie, Sonic the Hedgehog. So same actor, right? And also an animated bunny. Pretty much like, same sort of size as Sonic in this movie. And he's having to talk to an animated, character. So in Hop, he was talking to a bunny. And in this movie, he's talking to Sonic. So, you know what I mean? It felt very same-esque to me, very samey. If you haven't seen the movie Hop, you're not going to feel like that. But for me, watching this movie, it was very much kind of like watching Hop. And also, I actually love that movie more. I've watched that movie umpteen times. I don't think I could watch this movie umpteen times. I don't really know what this movie would be like upon second watch. I'd probably only catch it if it was on TV. I would not buy this on DVD, and that is my humble, honest opinion. Also, James Marsden in this, in kind of ways, I could kind of see sort of somewhat similar-esque also the same two characters kind of almost like, I know Sonic's obviously not the bunny out of Hop, but the way their kind of relationship was going at some point, it's kind of almost like I'm just seeing James Marsden in Hop, and I'm just seeing Sonic as the rabbit kind of ish in Hop. Do you see where I'm kind of going with this? And instead of his girlfriend being in the movie, he had a girlfriend in this movie, not really anything there. She's in the trailers. In Hop, it was more Kelly Cucho. He plays Penny in The Big Bang Theory. The second thing I want to say is Jim Carrey is really pretty funny in this movie. He really did hold the movie together, to be honest. Probably along with James Marsden. I mean, don't get me wrong, along the start of the movie, I'm like, okay, Sonic's super cute and everything, and he's adorable, but then you kind of get over that, because here's my big issue, and I will get to Jim Carrey in a minute. My big issue is they didn't really concentrate on a story. There is a story there. Basically, the synopsis, without ruining anything, because it was in the one of the trailers that was brought out kind of recently, is Okay, there's a power outage caused by Sonic the Hedgehog. And then, of course, you also have James Marsden, who plays a character called Tom in this. And, of course, they meet up, Sonic and Tom, and they're in the movie, of course, obviously, as you know from the trailers. And then you also have Robotnik, played by Jim Carrey, who we all know is the villain. We all know he is the villain of, Sonic, right? And also, he is after Sonic. He's looking for Sonic. I mean, I'm sure that's pretty. We all knew what we were going to be getting said on the tin, I suppose. I don't know if you say this, but we get exactly what it says on the tin, going into this movie. Hi, Travis. Hi, Rob. Hi, Timothy. Hi, Chubby Teddy. Hi, everyone. Sorry if I've left anyone out. So to get back onto this, that was my issue. They didn't really concentrate on the story. It seemed more like one-liner fillers of little gags, of little one-liner jokes, kind of basic-esque jokes. But don't get me wrong, I did laugh a good wee bit. Not only that, it's Jim Carrey, so if you like him and you think you like his comedic presence and you think he's a funny guy, then definitely go and see this. I would highly not recommend it for anybody who isn't all that fussed on Jim Carrey, because to be honest, had Jim Carrey not have been in this movie and had James Marsden not have been a very good, talented actor, I don't think I would have enjoyed it that much. Like Sonic looked good, but even the CGI could have very much been improved massively. And I will touch upon how I feel the movie kind of didn't do as well as I would have liked it to have done. And again, guys, as always, this is only my opinion personally. I would recommend going and seeing it just to see what you think of it. But what I will say is, when I seen the trailer come out, my concern was Jim Carrey seemed to be acting a bit very much so like the Riddler in Batman Forever. Now, firstly, I don't care what anybody thinks. I loved Batman Forever, and I love my Jim Carrey as Riddler, right? You can disagree, but I'm not changing my mind, right? I'm sticking to my guns. So, you know how he acts as Riddler in Batman Forever, right? Well, that's pretty much a mixture between that. And if any of you seen, let me know, because I will try my best to keep reading. I am new to all this, so I'm trying my best to remember the movie, plus also read your comments. So do bear with me. You're super kind, so new as well, because this is all new to me. But has anybody seen the movie Bruce Almighty with Jim Carrey and Morgan Freeman? And of course, Morgan Freeman's God. Okay, he's God. And he is Bruce in the movie, right? And he then basically Morgan Freeman hands the role of God down to him to see, how good he thinks he can be at answering all these tons of prayers from everybody all around the world. Bruce Almighty was funny, Rob. Yes, definitely. Very, very funny. Timothy, Tales for the sequel. I sure hope so. I'm a fan of Miles Pryor. This is going to be non-spoiler, but I will sort of speak on sort of stuff throughout this. So I will get there, Timothy. Don't you worry. I will get there. Thank you very much. But anyways, so basically, if you like, how he plays the character Bruce in that movie, Bruce Almighty, it is 100%. It tosses the coin between, and a blend of them, a mixture of him playing as Bruce in Bruce Almighty and the Riddler. But don't get me wrong, because they didn't so much concentrate on the actual story as much as they did the one-liner jokes, and it kind of seemed like it was filler jokes, to kind of carry the motivation of the story along. That's what I got from this movie. And to be perfectly honest, I knew from watching the trailers, I even said, I hope he's not going to, is he literally just going to be acting like the Riddler? But you know what? I ended up just sitting in my seat and just laughing and enjoying his parts, because I thought to myself, look, is it really, it's actually kind of cool. You know what I mean? What does it matter, really? I'm sitting watching a mixture between Riddler and Bruce Almighty, Jim Carrey, from those two different movies. And even there was a scene where, I'm not going to ruin anything, this is non-spoiler, he was sort of standing in, I guess it was kind of dark, right? And he had this black and kind of red coat on, from what I can remember, and it was black and red, right? It was dark. And he lifted his coat up, And it kind of looked almost like, do you know at the end of Batman Forever when Nicole Kidman goes over and she's like, Edward, who is Batman or whatever, and he goes, hi, Batman. And he goes like this, right? And it's all like hanging, right? And literally, there was a scene in it where it's like really, really like super quick. So you have to like really be sitting, staring and watching the screen to see it kind of. And he just like kind of goes like this with his coat, and it's in the dark as well. So it very much looked like that exact scene almost like, well, you know what I mean? It put me in mind of it, if that makes sense. And don't get me wrong, he was funny and everything, but to be honest, did he suit this role as Robotnik? No. And that's what, not really, no. And that's what I thought from watching the trailers. And to be honest, from the get go, when I think of Robotnik, I would have thought as a casting director, which I'm not, but Jack Black. And I don't know if anybody would agree with that. But I just don't know. It just didn't do it for me. But was it funny, the parts that he was in? Yeah, but where they fell short was there wasn't really any game elements in this. And I'm sorry to sound like I'm complaining, but this is Sonic. You know, it's Sega. I was actually expecting, and you know what they didn't even put in the movie? The music. You know, I was expecting even at some point in the movie to hear that classic music that when I put on my game on my Sega Mega Drive, that I hear that music. I mean, I actually got a Sega Mega Drive off eBay before Christmas because my mum brought over my old one and it didn't work anymore. And I was like, heck to friggin' well no. So I went on eBay, right? And I was able to get one, right? And my Sonic games still worked on it. And my Mickey Mouse and my Daffy Duck ones, right? Still worked. So I was super happy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can play Sonic and Tails, right? I love Tails. So I was really, really happy at that. So how come I can go downstairs to my living room in Ireland, right? And I can hear the Sonic music when I load up my game, right? But yet I can't hear it when I go and see a movie called Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, you freaking well kidding me? Are you freaking well kidding me? You're not going to put on the music to give me the nostalgia. Like, I'm sorry, but that was the first thing that I noticed. And like, literally, I just said to myself when the movie was over, like, where was the music? Where was the music? But yet, instead, they happened to want to, you know, throw in the floss. You know, that floss nonsense from the movie Fortnite. We get it. We get it. You know, I'm sick of seeing it in movies. We've seen it in Shazam, the DC movie. We've seen it, and it wasn't just done once, it was done twice. Oh yes, it was done twice, but you couldn't put the freaking well music in. Are you kidding me? Then they also had, so they done that. Then they also had it in, like Thor, wasn't Thor playing it in Avengers Endgame? That was stupid too. So it's just, yeah, you know, like you do see some kind of elements where he kind of goes into like his little ball and things like that. But even the CGI, missed opportunities again. They could have heavily worked more on the CGI. I'm not saying the CGI was bad. It was just, sorry. I don't even know what I would give this movie out of a 10 yet, guys. I was actually going to give it like a 4 or 4.5. I don't know if I'm being too harsh on that. I'm going to have to rethink some things. I don't even know if I could stretch it to a 5, guys. I'm really sorry. Now, there is some cool bits in there, like at the beginning of the movie, Sonic's reading like Flash comics, you know, which makes sense, right? He goes super fast, you know? And even Keanu Reeves, there's a little sort of Keanu Reeves thing in there, which is really cool as well to look out for. And they mention things like Men in Black and stuff like that. So, you know, it isn't, there is parts to enjoy, and I did laugh a good bit, to be honest, but I think it's more because I love Jim Carrey, and I think you could give Jim Carrey any line, really, and he would make me laugh. He's kind of like an Owen Wilson to me. Owen Wilson doesn't even need to speak. Owen Wilson just needs to read his lines. And I laugh. He's on a TV advertisement at the minute over here in Ireland, and it's like he's just literally sitting on a sofa with a remote control talking about the TV. And I laugh. I've seen it like 20 times, but I still laugh because it's Owen Wilson. Do you know what I mean? Another thing I wanted to get to was at the beginning, at the beginning of the movie, they're playing the song by the legendary band Queen, one of my favourite bands, right? And you know the song Don't Stop Me Now. And I'm so tempted because I love singing and I'm a singer. I want to sing it. But I'm afraid that YouTube's going to take it down because YouTube took down like a 50-second clip of my dog watching a BBC show with foxes running along in snow. So you know what I mean? I don't want to even sing it. I'm like literally scared. Like, please don't take my video down YouTube. Like I know that that's Doctor Strange behind me, but I paid for it on Amazon, so don't even go there. I'm just kidding, guys. But yes, back onto this. They had the song Don't Stop Me Now by Queen. Now think about it, guys. How much money would that have costed them to go and approach the record company and go, we want one of the most all-time legendary rock bands, rock and roll legends. We want to play Freddie Mercury's Don't Stop Me Now and spend all our money on that rather than spending the time on what your movie is actually about, which is a Sega game, right? Why not have that nostalgic music? Yes, okay, I get it. This is aimed for kids. The movie house the cinema was a packed ton of kids. You could hear the kids, getting, like they wanted to play and stuff, and they were super young, like 3, 4, 5 years of age. 7 was probably the oldest in my cinema. So I get it, I do. But let's face it, when they were bringing this movie out, they know that many people, like me, for example, who was born in the 80s, it would be nice to kind of have had a bit of nostalgia in there. Do you know what I mean? But no, let's just shove in stuff about Fortnite, the floss, all that nonsense, instead of actually putting the original music in there. I would have expected the movie to either open up with that or for it to be even quite a few times throughout the actual movie, or at least at the end. But no, what did they do at the end, guys? They played a terrible song that I've never heard before, and it sounded like utter poop. It sounded like poop. Then they had like a couple of slow motion scenes throughout the movie with Sonic. I think one you would have seen in the trailer anyway, so I'm not giving anything away. But there was one like kind of like a bar. And it was kind of super cute because Sonic was kind of like dressed up all like country and westerny, and they were like having a laugh or whatever. And he is quite comedic, Sonic. I mean, he doesn't really come off with anything other than sort of like basic jokes. And he is cute and he is adorable, and the relationship between him and James Marsden who plays Tom in this. But as I say, I felt like I'd seen it before. And where have I seen it before? Quite literally Hop, because James Marsden acted along with the little bunny who was voiced by Russell Brand. And you know what, guys? It would have been too weird for me if Russell Brand had have actually voiced Sonic. The voice of Sonic was fine. I was happy with that. I just felt very blasé. Do you know what I mean? And I think that they were hoping that Jim Carrey and the jokes would kind of save it for them, because I don't know what the budget was for this movie, but it didn't really look like they had went to a massive effort. Did they spend most of their money trying to get the rights to the song Don't Stop Me Now by the legendary epic band that is Queen, one of my favourite bands? That's kind of, I don't know, guys. I just don't know. The girl that acted as girlfriend in it, like, she was fine. She was just, I've never seen her in anything else before, but she was just okay, to be honest. But I think as well, and I'm not meaning to sound rude to the girl, but I think as well it might have been better if they had have had maybe somebody a bit more like well known, and I maybe think that would have like worked a bit better. And then there was also a guy. I have no idea who he is, guys, to be honest with you, and I'm literally just back from the cinema. but Robotnik had kind of like a little like sidekick, and that was kind of funny-esque. He was kind of like this little, runner. What would you call it? Like a runner, if that makes sense. Um, he was just blasé too. I have no idea who he was. I think, to be honest, cast wise, it kind of fell short. Jim Carrey didn't suit his role, but I didn't mind watching him play how he plays in Bruce Almighty, and as Riddler, as a mixed bag. I just thought, oh, what the heck? He never was going to suit Robotnik from the announcement, so let's just sit and watch the Riddler and Bruce from Bruce Almighty. Why not? Paid for the ticket. But pretty much, and I will be getting to the chat in a second, guys. So please bear with me if you'd like me to read out some people's comments. There is another thing I want to say to you, so this is important. Stay to the very end, okay? I'm not going to be giving anything away, Timothy, but stay to the very end. And what I mean by that is I had to get up super quick, like, because I had to get a bus, but it ended earlier than what I thought it was going to, so I didn't have to rush so much. But I sensed that it was over, because I had to do the same with Dr. Dolittle the other night. I was like, I have to get my bus. But otherwise we had an extra 2 hours. To heck with that nonsense. But at the end, everybody sensed that it was over, and I was in, where there was like recliner seats, and everybody was pressing their button like, yeah, it's time to go now, folks. But it actually wasn't. So I was like, okay, let's put my chair back again. So you might think it's over, but it's not. So kind of wait, because there's something at the end that you want to see, which is kind of cool. So yeah, I'll be honest, I like to kind of rate movies on whether I would want to buy it on DVD as well. Because you have to sort of say to yourself, if you're not wanting to just go and buy something on DVD, then really, is it worth over even a 6 or a 5 out of 10? And it's not only that. Like, I went into a store tonight before I went into the cinema, because I had to get a couple of things, right? And it was like a supermarket, right? And I seen the DVD of Joker, Joaquin Phoenix. And it was like £10, don't know how much that is in sterling, maybe like $18 or something like that, $20, I don't know. And then they had it in Blu-ray as well. And I didn't have the time, but I would love to pick it up the next time I'm in, right? And have it on Blu-ray as well. I would love to buy that. And I would love to buy it so I can sit and watch it on my birthday on the 8th of April. That means you'll love it. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't want to go out and buy something on DVD that you've seen in the cinema, in my personal opinion, as a movie lover, it ain't that hot. And Sonic, I am sorry for everybody who made this and everybody involved. Well done, Chris Marsden. Well done, Jim Carrey, for making me laugh. But I don't think this was the role for you, dude. And well done for making Sonic just meh. Just meh. Whatever meh means. Just cute and adorable at times and kind of funny. But I didn't feel any emotional connection. Here's where I'm going, guys. I didn't feel any emotional connection. Yeah, like, it's a nice ending and everything, but I didn't feel any emotional connection to really any of the characters. That's why I came out feeling just whereas, I don't mean to sound funny, a lot of people don't like that movie Hop that James Marsden's in with the little animated bunny voiced by Russell Brand. But I felt emotional connection with characters in that movie. I'm sorry. And I just thought it was an overall better movie, in my personal opinion. It was better put together. Yes, okay, the ending was crazy. And it does go a bit like, has that actually just happened in this movie Hop? But at the same time, I love watching that every year at Easter. You can laugh if you want. It's fine. I love that movie. So it was just, I'm sad. I am sad. I'm disappointed. I would love to have owned this on DVD, but I'm not going to. I'm sorry. If I had to be honest, out of 10, probably like a 4.5 at the most. I don't even think it deserves a 4.5, probably 4 or 4.5. Now, there wasn't really any game elements in this at all. If anybody actually tries to actually say that this was a very good game movie, I'm sorry, I will question what movie they went and seen. Now, one thing I haven't even had a second to do is check out other people's reviews, because I got off the bus, made myself a cup of tea, had a bit of mint Aero chocolate. I don't even know if you can get Aero bars in America, can you? It's called Aero. It's like bubbly chocolate filled with goodness. You can get mint flavored ones, you get orange flavor. Anyway, Jill, like get back to what you were getting to. So I don't know what other people's reviews are like, but there was no gaming elements really. Now, kind of throughout further into the movie, you kind of feel like it's going somewhere with sort of like the game elements and things like that there, but not really. It was like, I could think a couple of times I could hear like the, the ring noise, but it was kind of subtle. Like, it wasn't anything that made me remember that I even heard the noises of the rings. I think they could have came up with something better. I think they could have concentrated on the story way more, because they seemed to concentrate more on the jokes and the gags and stuffing it filled with all these jokes, rather than actually concentrating on the actual movie itself. It certainly was not anything spectacular. It was just below bog average, to be honest. Average maybe at the most. It would be great for kids. It's very kiddie. It's very kiddie-esque. And I'm not trying to say that that's a bad thing, because at the end of the day, yes, I get it's for kids. But at the same time, as I say, with the whole nostalgic thing, I mean, I was born in the 80s. I played this from I was about 13 years of age on the Sega. My mum actually bought my friend's Sega Mega Drive off her, because that was the first time I played Sonic, was in my friend Sarah's house. And I went on to my mum, like, I want to Sega Mega Drive, I want to Sega Mega Drive. And then she told me one day in class, she was like, I don't want it anymore. And my mum said, if you give my mum £25, that you can have it. Which is like, what, $50, $45? With all the games. I got like Jungle Strike, Sonic, all these tons of games that she'd give. And then my mum also bought me games as well, from like a video rental store that sold them for super cheap. So I was just really saddened and disappointed. This is only, my views. Now, one other thing I will say was, at the end of the movie, now I could have took this completely the wrong way, right? But and I'm not ruining anything, but there's something in it that I kind of felt was like 2 Easter eggs of Jim Carrey. Now, I don't know whether you would even call them Easter eggs, but look out for it towards the end, because it made me think of 2 different movies that he's in, and I'm wondering, was one of the visuals and one of the lines that he said after that got to do with 2 different movies that he was in. So unless you're a massive, massive Jim Carrey fan like I am, and I've seen literally every single movie there is of Jim Carrey's, then you won't get it. Do you know what I mean? But I think, yeah, if you've seen the movie Batman Forever, you've seen Bruce Almighty, you've seen Hop, it is weird. And maybe that's why I find this super, super weird. And I also said in my trailer reactions that I think it would have been better for someone else to have got the opportunity, rather than James Marsden, to play, alongside Sonic, because he's kind of already done that role before. And did they not even think to themselves that anybody who's seen the movie Hop, would that not be kind of super weird? And like, this is like going to be a big thing. It's going to be, a game styled, movie based on a game from Sega. So would, and who actually okayed not to put the friggin' original classic music from Sonic that we all recognize when we put our game into our Sega Mega Drive? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not just the Sega Mega Drive I've played it on. Oh, no. I played it on the Xbox 360. I've literally played every Sonic game that there is to freaking play, and PlayStation as well. So, do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know where they thought that this was okay to not put the song in, and maybe I'm getting a wee bit too annoyed about it. But, it would kind of be like, well, supposing it wouldn't really, like, but would you really make a movie about something so big and then just go, no, we're not going to use that song. We're not going to use it. We're just going to use a song from a big, massive rock and roll company, which was great. Don't get me wrong. What a great start. I mean, can you remember the original trailer where we had Gangster's Paradise playing. Again, not going to sing it. YouTube likes to delete videos of my dog sitting watching foxes on a BBC show in the snow. So, you know, I don't want to get this video removed because I start singing and they pick up the audio. But the thing is I don't understand why there was so many missed opportunities. And at the sort of like further into the movie, when you think it's actually getting somewhere, you think it's looking a bit more game-esque, it didn't really go anywhere. And not even only that, the CGI wasn't impressing me. It was just, no, didn't work out. Really, it wasn't bad, the CGI. I'm not going to sit here and say it was trash, it was atrocious, but it didn't look good. I came out of the cinema just, and I actually said I didn't really like that. I didn't really like that. You know, if you want me to say something positive, I laughed because it was Jim Carrey. James Marsden acted good. He acted literally the exact same as what he did with the bunny rabbit in Hop, which I can't wait to watch in April. I always watch it in April. Now, if anybody has any non-spoiler questions, now is your time. But out of 10, 4.5. 4 or a 4.5, because I don't have any interest in going into my way to watch this again. If it was on TV and I want to laugh at Jim Carrey for a while, I'll laugh at Jim Carrey for a while, but I could also stick on many of my tons of DVDs of Jim Carrey to get that experience. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't need to watch that to get Jim Carrey laughter experience. So what I am going to do, guys, is I'm going to go to the comments. The thing is, this is kind of difficult for me to do because I don't want to open my mouth too much and ruin anything for anyone. But also, this is very new to me, this whole live stream setup. I'm not meaning to sound out like I'm just totally running at you guys, but my channel is literally, my aim is come on and always be as genuinely honest and blunt as possible. And, you know, sorry if it comes across like I'm ranting, but there's no point in me coming on here and being fake and going, oh, it's getting great reviews. So, I mean, I don't even know if it's getting great reviews. Is it getting great reviews? Please let me know, because I have no freaking idea. I don't look stuff like that up because I go into a cinema and I see it for what I want to think of it. I don't go, oh, it's getting great reviews, let's go out and see it. If I think it looks crap in the trailers, I'm not going to go and see it. But the thing is when this was all going on, it was a marketing ploy from the get-go. It was a marketing ploy from the get-go. So I knew we were never going to get flawless, you know, well-looking CGI. So I knew that before I went into the cinema. I mean, if anybody thought that going into this, that the CGI was going to be flawless, there's something wrong with you. Because that whole marketing ploy anyway, where they had to redo everything and yada yada, which firstly, to be honest, I don't actually believe. I've worked in marketing and sales all my gosh darn life. You know, even as a manager in a marketing company. So I literally feel I can state that it felt like a marketing ploy to me, like it stank a million miles away. I'm not saying I was any professional or whatever, anything like that, but I think I was good at my job as what I've done in marketing. So I just think that was a load of nonsense too. And then having just that terrible trailer that we first had. But it was okay, you know, the CGI was just okay. Sonic looked good enough. Do I think he could have looked a wee bit better? Yeah. Do I think that they could have did the CGI better? Way better. They could have put way better CGI into that. Like the money these companies have nowadays, if you can get Jim Carrey on board, you can get the song Don't Stop Me Now by Queen in there, and spend more time on, you know, the floss nonsense from Fortnite, then I don't know, you've had more money to be better in this movie. If I had to watch this movie as an overall thing and I was asked, what do you think? Do you think we can improve on this? I would say, heck to the freaking well, yes. Go and rethink some things, you know? Like the story needed to be more focused on instead of the jokes. You know, instead of these here little basic one-liners, they weren't even that hilarious of jokes. They were funny, but would they be funny a second time round? Probably not, to be honest. So I am going to go into the chat because I think I have blabbered on enough. Sorry, guys. Sticky V. Hi, Sticky V. Just a flirty joke, but even that is huge news nowadays. Well, I'm lost here. Sorry, I'm gonna have to go back up. Jim Carrey said to your reporter that she was on his bucket list, so that's blowing up over here. Yes, thank you so much, Thomas, because that's something that I wanted to mention and I totally forgot. So thank you so much, Thomas. So yes, Jim Carrey said in an interview when a girl was interviewing him for this movie, Sonic the Hedgehog, and she said, like, do you have anything else left on your bucket list? And he said, yes, you. And I think it's hilarious that people don't even realize that that's his personality and that he's a constant joker and he gets on all like awkward. That's his presence. That's his kind of like off-screen character. He's a jokester. It's a joke. I'm lost. I'm at a loss, to be honest. Yeah. It's a joke. He wasn't being serious. He wasn't being to sound like a sleazeball or a creep. It's a joke. Maybe take life a bit less seriously. But yes, Thomas, thank you so much for reminding me. Eduardo Soto. Oh, look at little doggy. Hi, Thomas. Maybe talking to someone else. Does the ending lead up to the sequel? Well, to be honest, with this being non-spoiler, I don't want to be spoiling anything for anybody, but what I was saying, in case you weren't here a little while ago, was make sure you stay to the end, because although it felt like it was ending, people were sort of like trying to get up off their seats, but then like another little piece came on. So definitely do stay to the end. I was also saying to everybody as well that because I'm such a huge Jim Carrey fan, and comedy is my favorite genre, Eduardo, seriously, I was sort of thinking like, at the end, it almost seemed as though there was two sort of what I felt was maybe small kind of Easter eggs, kind of two movies that Jim Carrey was in. It's something that he kind of lifts, but also something that he says straight after, like a visual sort of thing, which makes me think of two separate movies that he's in. If you are a big Jim Carrey fan, please try and pick up on that, someone, and tell me that I'm not losing my mind, because there might not even be Easter eggs. It could just be that's how I seen it, but you can let me know. Knuckles. Oh, yes, Knuckles. Knuckles. Timothy Morris, hashtag Sonic needs Shadow and Knuckles. I honestly love that profile picture that you have, by the way, Timothy. I think I said that the last time I was live streaming. Stephen, good movie for a 5-year-old. Yes, absolutely. It was mainly kids around the ages of 3 to 5 that was actually in my cinema screens, probably up to 7 as well. Yeah, the kids super enjoyed it. It was literally chucked full of little kids, and the kids really seemed to enjoy it. A lot of them were coming out, they're like, me, I loved it. I loved Sonic. So 100%, Stephen, if you have a kid, 100%. It was very, very much a kiddo movie. It was a kiddie movie. But I think, with that bearing in mind, though, they still should have put in more nostalgic stuff for the adults, especially the music. And that was such a killer for me. That was such a mood killer of my day. Like, why did they kill my mood today for that? I looked forward all day to go and see this. I was super hyped to go and see this. I'm not even. Right. Sticky V. The slideshow scene with the hunters. Okay, right. I'm not going to say that curse word. Sorry, Sticky V. Sticky V's awesome. So supportive. Right. Pet Detective all the way. Oh my gosh, Pet Detective. Could you imagine the snowflakes today with that movie coming out? Snowflakes are falling on their heads. Pet Detective would annoy them. I don't know. I went out of tune because I didn't even know what I was even going to sing. Stop talking, Julie. So, Coolio, yes, Gangster's Paradise. I remember he was actually on Gangster's Paradise. What's that? It's the song that they actually used, Delios, for the first trailer that was really awful. Do you remember the really terrible animation that they done of Sonic and tried to pretend that that was actually how Sonic looked? But really, in my eyes, I personally think it was just a really bad market employ to get everybody talking. And it did. Look at the amount of people that made videos about that. But yeah, I remember he was Coolio was actually on a show over here called Big Brother, and it's basically like there's cameras all around like this big house, And it's weird. I don't know how people watch it. It's one of the most awful programs out. It's terrible. And he was on it, right? Anyway, and he was, you know what he said? He said that he listens to his song Gangster's Paradise like 20 times a day, and he loves it that much that he thinks it's the best song in the world. And you're just like, yeah, it's a good song, mate, but like, you listen to your song 20 times a day. Do you know what? Each to their own. Each to their own. He's proud of it. You own it, Khalil. You own that Gangster's Paradise. Yeah. So anyways, right. Timothy says, Legend of Zelda definitely needs a movie. You know, go keep it PG. Go keep it PG, guys. Go keep it PG, Timothy. Right. Pet Detective versus Nature Calls. That is difficult. You've literally said it yourself, Suki V. That is difficult. That is difficult. Okay. Okay, hold on. Where was I there? Okay, the cable guy was weird. Yeah, I didn't like the cable guy. I went and seen it in the cinema. Just watched the Pet Detective the other night. Jim Carrey at his finest. Yeah, do you know what? Has anybody seen Jim Carrey's A Christmas Carol? That movie is beyond sensational. And how realistic they did those characters was just Gary Oldman, actually. Gary Oldman is in that movie. And if you are a DC fan, you will know what Gary Oldman was in, and you can guess in the live chat if you like. But and how realistic they got him to look. It was like an animation, but the way they done that, and Jim Carrey played like so many different characters in that, and it was an animated version, but it was very dark. Because I remember when I went to see it in the cinema, that a lot of kids were crying, and they actually went out because there's like these horses in it, and they're kind of like demonic looking. But they went for a very dark side. But wow, I watch that movie every single Christmas Eve. I think it's just absolutely phenomenal. I really, really do. Let's see. Series. Maybe talking to someone else. Oh yes, I've read them ones. Sorry. Julie is super smart, y'all. Bipolar nobody. Oh, he's a friend of mine, and he's so super supportive, and he's super funny. I am not that smart. I don't even know if I'm smart, like, to tell you the truth. So I don't know about super smart. But thank you very much for that. I can listen to you all damn day from Justin. Thank you very much for always supporting me. That is awesome. I can't watch it over and over. I never get more than a 6. Did one of those movies that I just can't watch again because it made me too emotional. I'm gonna have to go up. I don't know what movie we're talking about here, guys. Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Yeah, I mean, you know what, Sticky, you might end up really liking it. But just personally for me, being an 80s baby, I just wasn't so appreciative of it, to be honest. But like, kids are going to care about that. Do you know what I mean? Kids aren't going to care about the problems that I had. They're not going to care about CGI. They're not going to care about you know, Jim Carrey not really sitting the role at all. They're not going to care about James Marsden being the exact same as he was with Sonic, as he was pretty much with the Rabbit and Hop. They're not. Do you know what I mean? They're not going to sit and think of that stuff. I heard post-credit scenes has something to do with Dr. Robotnik. Again, I do not want to talk, just in case I can annoy anybody and mention anything. I'm not saying he is or he isn't. He may or may not be, but just in case, you know, because everybody's different with what spoilers and what non-spoilers are, Timothy. But if you are on Twitter, you can certainly hit me up in a DM. I have to like accept it first. And like requested messages, but certainly if you want to tell me to take a look out for that, if you're on there, I can certainly let you know if it is or isn't, if that's something that you are interested in. And the other question that you had asked previously as well, no problemo. Queen are pretty easy on using their songs in movies. Apparently, it doesn't cost that much. Oh, so they were being cheap asses, and yet they still couldn't put in the songs or the music from Sonic. Wow, that makes it even more wow. Sticky V has even made it even more wow for me, like double, you know. Apparently, it doesn't cost much because they see it as keeping the brand alive. So what else did they spend their money on? Because it didn't really look like a crap ton of money was put into this movie. It was very basic. It really, really, really was. I mean, there was nothing outstanding about any of the visuals. The visuals weren't even that great. I'd be very surprised if anybody goes on does a review and says the visuals were top notch. I'd be like, what? What? Like, I'm not saying I would disagree, but I would be like, I don't know what movie screen you were looking at. I want Iron Maiden songs in movies. Iron Maiden's awesome. Iron Maiden's awesome. Do you know what I love? You know, actually, do you want to know what I actually would have loved to have seen at the start of that movie since they used Queen? It's a Kind of Magic. Oh no, actually, I don't know. Well, no, I don't know whether that would have suited it or not. But I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just gonna stop talking now. Me, Myself, and Irene. Oh my gosh, that movie is absolutely hilarious. Oh, absolutely hilarious. Love it. Oh, so funny. Hi, Julie. Have you seen the trailer for Tenet? Share your thoughts. I actually haven't. No, I haven't seen that yet. Gary Oldman in Sid and Nancy. Also, other Gary Oldman fans in here too. Carrey's done some fantastic comedies, but I don't know if any of them beat The Truman Show. That movie is just bliss. To be honest, I don't overly really like The Truman Show. It's probably one of my least favorites of his, along with The Cable Guy. There's just so many other movies out there of his that are just unbelievable. Like Liar, Liar, I absolutely love that movie. Ace Ventura. Honestly, I literally love Jim Carrey. Bruce Almighty would probably be another one of my favorites. And Jennifer Aniston's in that movie. And as you all know, sick of hearing it, I'm sure you are, but sorry. From Friends, of course, isn't it? Gary Oldman is awesome. Loved him in True Romance. Yeah. And the Nolan Batman flicks. Yes, that's what I was trying to get you to guess earlier. So well done. You got it. Beautiful cinematography. Tessa, are you talking about the comment above, or are you talking about this movie, Sonic? Hello, Optic Racer. Pero mira a Julia haciendo trampa. LOL instead of ja ja ja. JA. Is laughter in Spanish, isn't that right? I thought this was later. So I see, Julie. Oh, my Spanish has got so bad. Pero is but, isn't it? But I see something, Julie. Haciendo. Can't remember that. I thought this was later. Oh, the stream. I just wanted to do it as soon as I got back from the cinema because it's actually almost 8:30 at night in Ireland, and I literally haven't had any dinner. I haven't had anything to eat, so I'm going to order a Chinese or something. All I've had is like coffee and chocolate and like a bit of cake all day. So I'm super needing food for energy, guys. So I'm going to be ending this in a moment. But I want Iron Maiden songs in movies. Oh yes, I've read that one out. She's talking alone? What does that mean? What do you mean, Delios? Dream Romance is epic. Julie, cover it for Retro Fridays. You know what? There's so many movies that I can do for Retro Fridays because there's just so many old movies. And then I suppose like the more the months go on and like a year goes on, then the more that, allows more movies to become retro that were maybe 19 years old and then become 20 years old. And if you haven't seen, I already have uploaded my Retro Fridays. I did Groundhog Day with, of course, Bill Murray. And the reason why I put it up as a normal video this week was because I haven't had the chance to really sit down today, apart from now, obviously, and at the cinema. But I've been up super early this morning. And as soon as I got home today, it was like literally just rushed out straight to the cinema. And I've came on and did this live stream straight after the cinema. So I would not have had the chance to do the premiere. And I didn't think it would be fair for me to release it as a premiere, have yous all in the live chat, and then you think that I'm coming onto the live chat, and I wouldn't have had the time to do it, guys. So I didn't want to be rude and yous all be in the chat and me not be there, because I feel like it's not like a responsibility thing, but it's more of like it's nicer for me to actually be there, and because I want to. Does that make sense? So how would you compare the Sonic movie to the Detective Pikachu one? I haven't seen Detective Pikachu simply because Pikachu was never something I ever knew anything about. And also, I don't think that the trailers look good at all. I thought it looked pretty awful, to be honest. But I have heard some people who are, like super into games and like a lot of stuff that I would sort of like and be into, and whose sort of reviews I would quite trust, that would sort of coincide with my interests. Said it was pretty good. But I haven't actually seen it, so unfortunately, sadly, sorry. I simply can't answer that question, so really sorry about that, 21st. I would love to be able to answer that question, but I haven't actually seen it, so I'm super sorry. Oh snap, ordering Chinese. Hi, Phil. Hi. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan, guys. Awesome. Wished Upon a Vlog is my bestie now. Thank you. Yes, everyone here is friends, honestly. Everyone here is just so kind to me, honestly. I really don't deserve it. Good stream and peace out. Hi, Stephen, again. I'll have to go and close the shop down and head home. You see, this is what I love about my community. Like, everybody, like, involves everybody else. Like, look at this. Stephen saying peace out to all. You know what I mean? Like involving everybody and like talking to everybody, like as if we're all here hanging out as friends, and we are. And I don't know. I love that. I think it's just are too cool to me, honestly. 8 p.m. in Ireland. Order some pizza. Yeah, like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah. But unfortunately, sadly, I would have to pay for the pizza because, like, Raphael isn't here. It'll be like, no, you don't get a tip. So, I want to watch Ace Ventura 1 and 2 now. Oh my gosh, they're so good. But, like, you know what? You just couldn't re-release those nowadays, or, like, reboot them is what I'm trying to say. Or imagine doing them in today's world with all the snowflakes falling. You just simply couldn't. But guys, I am going to head on now. Dumb and Dumber. Oh my gosh. Do you know what I can't understand? A lot of people don't like Dumb and Dumber 2. I have heard so many people saying they didn't like the second one. I actually, probably most likely, I might have to rethink, but I actually prefer the second Dumb and Dumber. I'm sorry. I most likely prefer the second one. That film was amazing. The Squire of Gothos, I'm so sorry I forgot to say hello to you earlier. Wondering what Chinese Irish fusion cuisine would be like. Yeah, Chineses are nice here. There's one that I get out off in specific, and like really they're the only one that I would really get off, and they've been my favourite for years now. So I always order off them. They still never give me any money off my orders. Like, what's that all about? I could play the Raphael one with part of my name referencing the Ninja Turtles. There was a third Ace Ventura involving his kid. Forgot that even existed. Oh, hi, the Cosmic Firestarter. So, guys, I am going to head on now. Super sorry. I hope that me coming on and sort of like, sorry if it seemed like a lot of ranting, but hugs back. Thank you very much. For like it kind of like I was ranting, but it didn't mean to come across that way. At the end of the day, there's no point in me coming on being fake and saying, oh, this was wonderful, this was 10 out of 10, yada, 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 yada. I would rather come on and be honest with you. Now, would I recommend you to go and see this movie? Yes, if you like Jim Carrey. No, if you're not really that fussed on him, because well, that would be my opinion anyway, because I think his humor, it sort of held it together, even though I don't think he suited the character. But it's Jim Carrey, so you're most likely going to laugh no matter what he says. Let's be frankly honest, like an Owen Wilson kind of deal. So yes, they didn't really focus on the story in the way that they should have. They seem to focus more on these little one-liner gags as big fillers. That is just personally my opinion. And the visuals just weren't up to par for me for something as hyped and as big as this could have been. Very much so missed opportunities. And the thing that I am most aggravated about is they didn't play the classic music. So I'm sorry, that's a very big annoyance for me. I don't know, maybe it's just me being silly, but I'll get over it. So yes, I'm glad I did go and see it, but massively disappointed. That is my overall analysis of this movie, that I will not be rushing to watch again unless it's on TV and I'm just like having a cup of tea, chilling, or I'm like got the flu or something. Do you mean? Yeah, it was just So thank you so much to everyone for coming up here. The Squire of Gothos, 21st, Phil, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Delios, Optic Racer 21. Thomas Mackey, Optic Racer 21. The Cosmic Firestarter, Phil, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Anybody else that I have missed? Rob, thank you so much for coming by. Who else did we have here tonight? We had Timothy Morris in the house with awesome Ahsoka picture. We also had Delios. We also had Justin Falzon in the crazy house of Wished Upon a Vlog, aka my YouTube recording room. We had Tony. We had Tessa G. We had Sticky V. We also had, I think I might have already said this, but Tessa G. We also had Big Black. I am so sorry that I forgot to say hello to you. If you're still here, hello. And if you're not, I feel really, really embarrassed. Honestly, I feel proud that I listened to the fans about fixing how Sonic looks. If they didn't, the movie would have lost 80% of the fan base, kids. And can the stream be PG-13? Laughing my ass off. Who else did we have in here? Keely Chow. We had Keely Chow. We all in here. Who else did we have? Delios. I've already said that, haven't I? It's hard to remember because, like, you know, you're live and you're like super nervous, and I'm trying to like see who else here. Right? Okay, right. We also had Stephen Szymanski. And if I pronounce anybody's thing wrong, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Eduardo Soto. We also had, is that everybody? It sounds like everyone that I've been through tonight and spoke to. And Stephen. And yes, guys, that seems to be everybody. So I am really actually enjoying doing these live streams. It would mean more than the world to me. Soul Drum, yes, we're finishing up now. I'm so sorry, but thank you so much for coming along. You can watch this on the replay in about 20 to 30 minutes or so. I don't really know how long these live streams take because it's new to me, but it will go on to my channel and stay there. So you'll be able to watch it later on. So thank you so much. And if you want to watch it later, you certainly can. Julie is awesome-tacular. That's an awesome hashtag. Thank you so much, but you're too kind. So thanks everybody for coming along. Hello Orville Nation. We are finishing up now, but you can watch it on the replay later when this processes onto my channel if you want to watch it later. So sorry. Thanks for coming by. It really means a lot. Really does. Congrats on you live streaming. Oh, thank you so much. I'm just wanting to come on and do it because it's something I never really had the confidence to do before, Orville Nation. So thank you. You are all really, really giving me so much comments. So much confidence. So the more I do this, the more confident I will get. So please do let me know maybe on my latest video, my Retro Fridays video that I put up today, I spoke about the movie Groundhog Day. Go to my channel, go to my recent video, and if you want, let me know a bit of feedback. Do you want to see more live streams from Crazy Wished Upon a Vlog? I would love to do them, but at the end of the day, I want to do what you want to do. So if you want me to carry on doing live streams, I'll do them. If you don't think I'm that great at them, then I don't have to do them all the time. Let me know. It's not just my channel, it's our channel. It's our channel. So, you know what I mean? So yes, yay, thank you very much. So, Orville Nation, thank you very much. So I'm going to go now. Take care, and don't forget, guys, that the force will be with you always. Bye, guys.